let's get into this fucking video, y'all. All right. So as you can see, I'm filming at nighttime. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit dark. We'll see if it works. I don't know. It's bright as hell right now in this goddamn ring light. I'll tell you that much. But yeah. Also, I'm wearing my hat right now because I went to Great Clips and they fucked up my head. Okay, that's just what it is. Like, do y'all want to see? Do y'all want to go back at the previous two videos and remember what it looked like, and now look at it? Do you see how they did me? Look, get into it.
Oh my God!
I'm supposed to be going on a goddamn trip next week. Oh my God. I already had the mental breakdown, so it's just giving hat game right now for the next few videos, okay? So just bear with me. And for all you nosy that I know is looking at my background right now, and you probably see my kitchen, you probably see my sink, and it's dirty, and I have a couple of dishes in there that I've been need to tend to, okay? Like, please don't do me. please just don't do me, okay? I know it's just a couple of dishes, okay? I'll wait until it's a full load, and then I put them in the dishwasher and handle it, okay? Don't come for me, please. So I want to talk about the movie It Ends With Us. This is based on the book It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Funny story, actually, because I did have that goddamn motherfucking book. I had that book, I think, in 2022. Yes, and I went on a trip with my bitch ass ex, and we went fucking on a cruise or something. What? That's irrelevant. We went on a trip, and then for whatever reason, I read like 3-4 pages. I didn't even read a whole fucking chapter. I read like 3 or 4 pages, and for whatever reason, just decided to drop the damn book. Don't know why. I can't remember if I wasn't interested or if I got too busy. Who the fuck knows? But I remember that it was popular on Book Talk. It still is pretty popular on Book Talk. If you go look, it's still like, it's up. People are talking about it, you know? So it was really popular on Book Talk. And so I wanted to get into it. And that was going to be the first book that I read. But I ended up not reading it. And I ended up reading Verity by Colleen Hoover, which I guess still got to do a video on. But I don't remember everything on that. Anywho, so I ended up reading Verity instead. But low-key, I'm kind of glad it worked out that I didn't read It Ends With Us, the book, because it probably would have ruined my reception in the way that I went into the movie, because I just been seeing a bunch of like YouTubers and other people on social media talking about how the movie is like pretty fucking bad. And me, as someone who only saw the movie, honestly, I would give that bitch like 9-10 stars. It was that good. I'm sorry. Like, that may be controversial, but to me, again, I didn't read the book. If I had read the book, it probably would have been a different story. But I loved that shit. It was so fucking good. I was happy. I was sad. I cried. I was mad. I was pissed off. I felt betrayed at some moments. Like, I was like this in the movie theater, you know, up and down on a roller coaster, having a good ass time. Now, what I will say is that some of the people I've been seeing that don't like the movie has stuff that's not going on, like not even within the movie itself. It's like, it has to do with the actors like Blake Lively and stuff. And as far as that, I'm just gonna say this. I didn't know anything about the controversy with Blake Lively. Don't know the girl, never seen her day in my life. Could be walking past me down the street and I wouldn't have known who the fuck she was until this day. But anywho, I've heard the name, but like the face wasn't there, you know? So I didn't know anything about her. And when I did pull up the receipts, shit, let me just say, if I had known then what I know now, I probably wouldn't even gone and seen the movie, because I don't want to support someone like that. I don't know how she's not blacklisted in Hollywood right now. Not that, okay, she didn't do anything terrible. She's just not a nice person, okay? Basically, that just sum it up. She's just not a nice person, you know? So I just wasn't vibing with her from what I've seen in interviews and stuff. If you want to go research, you know, that you can go ahead and do that. But I'm not going to get into that too much. Anywho, from her as Lily Blossom Bloom, I loved the character. I did. I liked it, you know? Even though it was a little bit weird because her and the whole cast, actually, the whole cast was like in their, like, what, mid-40s? Something like that. And they're supposed to be portraying these, like, mid-20, late 20-year-olds, if not younger. And so that was a little bit hard to jive with, but yeah, I made it work. So let's get into it, shall we? The story is pretty much just about a girl Lily Blossom Bloom, dumbass name. I know it was fucking corny. I did respect the fact they leaned into how corny and lame her name was. She laughed at herself about that, so that made it a little bit better, easier to deal with. Anywho, so that's her name. It's about her growing up. We go back to her as a child, to present timeline as an adult, and the things that happened in her childhood and her relationship with the boy she met as a child into adulthood, and her moving on and going through some of the same things that she witnessed her mother go through, which is why she didn't like her father, which it's really good, a really great story, like just beautiful, fucking beautiful. And the dialogue in this shit was like, woo, it was so fucking good. Like, oh my god, like, there was some the rooftop scene when Lily first meets Ryle. The whole naked truth thing, the whole it was a little bit corny, but she was talking about, I think, the view or whatever, saying how it's beautiful, and he was, spitting game, running game on her pretty much. He was just saying how, oh yeah, it is beautiful. He was talking about her, but it was a little bit cheesy, but I kind of eat that shit up. Okay, it was cute to me. Anywho, and then so I like that. I liked how because when Ryle first introduced it, he comes on the rooftop. He's like kicking a fucking chair, and we don't know why the fuck he's pissed off. We just know that maybe he does have anger issues. That should have been a hint right there. Looking back, hindsight is 2020. But yeah, I didn't think that little scene, that little temper tantrum he was throwing would lead to what we got later in the movie. Okay, like. Am I crazy for not putting those two together? I think if I had thought that in the beginning, just from that one thing alone, that would have been me jumping ship, and that would have been overreacting, So I don't fault myself for not picking up that clue. It was great foreshadowing, though. I will say that. This movie has tremendous foreshadowing. And speaking of foreshadowing, so they're talking on the rooftop, they're having a conversation, the banter is witty, it's going back and forth. I'm loving it. I'm eating up every moment of it. And then he says, like, or she asks him a naked truth, and she asks, I think, like, why he was upset. And then she learns that he's I think he's a neurosurgeon or some kind of doctor. And he's talking about how a little boy, like, had shot his brother and killed him and stuff. And they tried to save that boy, but they couldn't save him. And so he was just upset over that. The foreshadowing comes in, though, because that little boy that he was talking about was actually him, was actually Ryle. Ryle was the one that did that. But we don't learn that until way at the end of the movie, which, spoiler alert, I guess. But I'm assuming I'm going to spoil something. This video is about the movie, so. But yeah, like that, we got that foreshadowing moment right there. Like, I didn't realize it then, but looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, like they were, putting the clues there for us. And so I guess since we're on it, we might as well just talk about Ryle's character a little bit. Like I said, he's a surgeon. He's a relatively good-looking dude. He's supposed to be the heartthrob. He wasn't really giving heartthrob, if I'm to be honest. Atlas. Now, Atlas. Wow. Atlas was fine as hell. I can't hold you. It's weird because I usually go for, like, the darker feature type guy, like in books and stuff, and even in movies. I usually do like guys with, like, the darker features and stuff, which Ryle had. But I don't know. I just was feeling Atlas more. He was a little bit buffer, a little bit, I don't know, more country boy looking and homegrown. And so I just vibe more with that. So I was happy with what ended up happening in the end. Anywho, but what I don't agree, we was talking about Ryle. So, yeah, see, Ryle, on the other hand, though, even though he wasn't really giving a heartthrob to me, he was still, like, cool or whatever. He was a cool character. He definitely was giving fuckboy vibes at first, that's for sure. And I was just like, where is this supposed to go? Because Lily Blossom Bloom, I'm just saying it's so goddamn goofy. Lily Blossom Bloom was definitely like, oh, I think she even said, yeah, she's like, I'm the type of girl you take home to your mom. I'm like, bitch. Who says that? To me, is that not, who says that on, like, a first date or, like, a first interaction? You need to take me home to your, like, she didn't say it like that, but it was just like, girl, like, I mean, I get what she was trying, the message she was trying to send, but even still, she said that, but her legs did other things. Because on that rooftop when they first met, she was talking about how she didn't want to do all that, but she was about to go and do all that. What did she say? Ryle said something like, how far can I go? And she was just like, oh, won't you try me, or let's see, or something, or I'll tell you when to stop. Something like that. I was just like, girl, like, what? Like, the fuck? Anywho, and if that cell phone call hadn't come in, then Ryle would have been in between them legs right there on that rooftop that night, which actually sounds kind of hot if I'm being honest. Like, damn, can you imagine having sex on a rooftop? the cold wind on the back of your neck with a stranger. They're essentially strangers. Damn, that sounds hot. So yeah, that's them. They don't end up doing anything, and then they break up, only to later again meet in Lily's flower shop through Lily's best friend / Ryle's sister, who is a fucking hoot. I love Ryle's sister. She's so... I'm not even gonna say Ryle's sister because I don't like him. We're gonna talk about Lily's friend. I like Lily's friend. I think her name's Alyssa. Yes, Alyssa. So Alyssa is great. She's so fucking funny. Like the moment she enters the scene, she automatically was giving main character energy. Main character energy all the way. Like I don't know what it is, but that girl just pulled like everyone's attention, you know? I'm talking about everyone. Let me speak for myself. She pulled my attention like right away. She didn't even just, I don't know. She's just a great actress, like just so funny. And I don't know what I saw her in, but I definitely recognize her from something. She was in something else before, but she's just funny. And her whole little banter about her like wanting to work at the store, but like Lily's saying no, but she won't take no for an answer, so she's just kind of lingering around in the store like, oh, I hope you dust, I hope you put stuff away, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know, it was cute, it was funny, I loved it. Now, I may be jumping around a little bit, but this is how I remember the story, okay? If I'm wrong, you can feel free to let me know down in the comments, but this is how I remember it, okay? So, after he asked me to be the girlfriend, like, some stuff happens in between, and then we get the first incident, okay? There were 3 incidents. This is incident number 1. This motherfucker don't put his hands on. Ryle, I guess, was pulling something out of the oven, and from my memory, he didn't have any oven mitts. I feel like he didn't. Did he have oven mitts? I don't feel like he had oven mitts. I'm gonna say he didn't have oven mitts because I feel like I remember being upset and thinking like, why would you go to pull something out of the oven without any oven mitts or a towel or anything? So of course he burned himself like a dumbass. He dropped the dish all over the fucking floor and it breaks, and he's like, you know, healing his wounds and whatever, and Lily comes over to try and like console him, to try and like see if he's okay, and he's like, bitch, can I say that? Can I say that on YouTube? He said, girl, and gives her one of these, and I'm like, I'm not gonna hold you. Even though I was shocked, I didn't think it was what it was. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was what it was. I honestly thought that it was a fucking accident. Because the director, the production, they did a great ass job of like, when we first see it, making it look like an accident versus, you know, when we see it, making it look like what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was a fucking accident. I'm like, they were just being careless, stupid, clumsy idiots, pretty much. You know? It was an accident. It could happen to anybody, right? It looked bad. I'm not gonna lie. It looked bad. And even then you have Lily, you know, once she gets that hit, she's triggered and she ends up going back to her childhood because her daddy was an abuser. He used to abuse her mom. I don't think he ever abused her. I don't remember if that's specified or not, but he used to abuse her mom. And so she's end up, you know, that she's going through that, you know, after she got hit, you know, she was down for a couple of minutes. She damn near looked like she's about to be unconscious. So yeah, and the situation just looked real bad. But me, I'm just like, my naive, gullible self was just like, it's an accident, girl. Like, he didn't mean it. Like, you know, like, don't leave him. But she didn't. She realized or thought, I guess, that it was an accident, you know? And so she stayed with him, and they end up, like, I guess, going out to a restaurant later or whatever after that. And she has her eye, and her eye is still, like, black. She didn't put no makeup on it or nothing. And I'm just like, girl, like, do you want people to think you getting your ass beat? Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm not saying, like, I don't know. Like, do you think she should have hidden it? Like, or no? Because me, I would be like, damn, like, you got people thinking that I'm, like, out here whooping your ass. Like, that's what he was doing. But at first, we didn't know that, right? So if you don't want to get that message, why not put, like, a little bit of makeup on your eye? She didn't put shit on her eye. It didn't look like it at all. So it was bad. I'm not gonna lie. It was very bad. They're at the restaurant, right? And that's where Lily, she ends up, I think, oh yeah, the waiter who owns the restaurant actually is Lily's ex-boyfriend from her childhood, Atlas, the fine country homegrown motherfucker. So Atlas, she first met Atlas as a child, because Lily was at home and she was looking through her window and she had all this time alone for whatever reason to look out the window like girls do, I guess. Anywho, so she was looking at her window and Atlas comes along and he's going to like this warehouse across the way from her home, and we didn't know what he was going to end up doing right then and there. But later we find out that he was going to like delete himself, which, damn, that was sad as hell. Like, ugh, just the writing was so good in this. Like he literally like says to Lily, like, you don't know this, but you literally stopped me from like deleting myself. Because she ended up like giving him some food or whatever, because she could tell that he was hungry and he was alone. So it was so sad. It really tugged on my heartstrings, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, it really did. But the reason why Alice is homeless, or on the street and stuff and fending for himself, is pretty much because he has a mom and who's with his boyfriend or her dad, or Alex's dad. I don't know which one, either or. So she's with this guy who's like abusing her. So I'm just like, damn, everybody over here getting beat. Like, damn, like fuck. I don't know. The one thing I don't like is, I like to consider myself a feminist, okay? I like seeing like strong female lead characters, you know, in movies, series, point blank period. So I don't like the typical female trope of like, oh, damsel in distress, you know, like I don't like that shit. Like, of course, representation is important because it does happen. It's a very serious matter. And so, you know, like, representation brings awareness, and awareness, you know, brings resolution. So yeah, I guess Alice tried to pretty much just defend her, and Alice's mom wasn't going for that. Like, she took the side of the guy for whatever reason and kicked her own son out. And so that's why Atlas had to be in the warehouse and was on his own, and while he was going to delete himself. It's just so sad. Like, it's so sad. And I think he was like, did they ever say the age? I don't know if they ever said the age, but he couldn't have been older than like, what, 12, 13? Something. That's how old they looked to me anyway. But maybe they were like 15. I don't know. But yeah, so he ends up becoming friends with Lily and stuff. Like, they're on the bus together, all real cute and stuff, kissing, yada, yada, yada. Alice is going to his house, you know, more and more frequently, staying there in between her parents being there or not. Until one day, Lily's daddy comes home a little bit early. Now, I don't know if he did come home early, or if Lily and Alice were having too much time kikiing and they didn't realize what time it was. I know I've been there before. Now, I mean, I never was crazy enough to take people into the house. My sibling, my little brother, that mofo. Me, I never did that because I didn't like getting ass whoopers. Ass whoopers didn't feel good to me. I only had to be beat about 2 times before I learned quick, okay? So I never did that. But I can understand how you lose track of time, you know, when you're having a good time, if you know what I'm saying. Lily's dad ends up coming home early and ends up catching Atlas in his motherfucking home with his daughter. Now, I don't have any kids. I damn sure don't got a daughter. But if I did, I feel like I would have been just as mad as Lily's daddy. I wouldn't have went as far as Lily's daddy went, but I would have been just as pissed off. Like, what the fuck going on? What, not in my house, under my roof that I pay for. No. So he pretty much ends up tripping out. We don't see what ends up happening, but we can assume what happened based on after the fact. We see Atlas getting rolled out by the ambulance in a stretcher. Like, it's bad. Fool got beaten bad. It was rough. And I don't even think they had sex or anything. No, they had sex. Yeah, they had sex. That's right. Because I remember she said, I lost my virginity to a homeless man. I remember the whole scene. Yeah, they had sex. Damn. So, Lily's daddy kind of was... you let me know down below. He took it too far. He took it too far. He did. Anywho, so Alice is getting rolled out in a stretcher, and I guess Lily and Alice never see each other. From then, we really don't know what happened, but it's implied that they didn't see each other after that until the restaurant in present day where the story takes place. They see each other again, and Atlas notices that Lily has a black eye, and she didn't get that to herself. So this part was a little bit weird. Lily ends up going to the bathroom. Alice chases her into the bathroom and kind of stopped her from leaving. I was like, I don't know, that was a little bit weird to me. It gave a little bit like predatory. Like, I get he was trying to be like protective or whatever, but it was very bit weird. Like, don't stand and block the fucking door. Like, I'm kicking your balls. You ain't gonna block me in. Anyway, I know that wasn't what it was given, but it looked like that was what it was given, if you know what I mean. So anywho, She assures him, he's like, no, it's nothing. It really is a mistake. It's a mistake. But he's not listening. He's not buying that. Because to him, this dude don't put his hands on his dream girl, the girl that got away, essentially, you know? And so he ends up taking out on Ryle, and they end up getting into a shoving match or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And Ryle got tossed. I'm not going to lie. Ryle, he got handled. He got packed up and shipped off Amazon Prime. He got boxed the fuck up. I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping for a little bit more, Ryle. Like, Ryle, you got beat up in front of your girl. It don't get much more embarrassing than that. So he got beat up so bad, he got kicked out of the restaurant. He started crying in the rain. It just was bad. I was feeling bad for homie, you know? Because, mind you, again, I thought it was an accident, the whole situation with, you know, the backhand thing. I'm thinking it's an accident. So I genuinely was feeling bad for Ryle because I'm like, this all gets blown out of proportion right now, you know? For no reason. It was an accident. So Lily's like, no, like, it's okay, it's not like that. Like, I think she did, yeah, she ends up telling him that that's her ex and whatnot. You know, and he's like, he's crying, he's like, anybody but him, Lily, anybody but him. And I'm just like, damn, like, what does that mean though? Anybody but him, like, was he giving her a hall pass to go sleep with anybody but Atlas? That's a good deal. That's a good deal, girl. I don't know. Let me know. That's how I took it. I don't know what else that could mean, anybody but him. I don't know what else that could mean. But yeah, so he's crying in the rain. He's real sad. I'm just like, damn, you got your ass beat and you crying like a big ass baby right now? This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you. Like, what the fuck? Anywho, so yeah, we move forward from there. You know, they make up, yada, yada, yada. And I think the next day or a few days later, something like that, Alice ends up showing up to the shop where Lily works. Where she works. Now that's a little bit creepy. A little bit stalkerish. Just a little bit. He was doing a little bit too much. But anywho, I get it though. He was trying to look out, you know? And so pretty much he tells her like, oh, if you ever need anything, you know, just call me. Here's my number. Put it in your phone. So she puts it in her phone case. In the back of her phone case. And sure enough, I'm sitting there, I'm just like, there's no way this ends good. There's no possible way this ends well. Like, at all. Why? I said, girl, like, you should have taken that right out as soon as you left and thrown it away. If you were that secure and that short in your relationship, like, see, that, if you were that secure in your relationship, you would have never kept that number. But part of her knew that what Ryle was doing wasn't really an accident. She knew all along. She was lying to herself. She was lying to herself, trying to get herself to believe that it was. But part of her knew it wasn't an accident. So that's why she kept Atlas's number in case she needed it. And it ends up all blowing up in the end because, Alice ends up finding it, and that's another ass whooping. I'm just like, damn. Like, oh my God. Like, this time it was like, so in this particular situation, Ryle ends up finding the phone number, right? And he's so mad, he's pissed off. He's like, baby, calm down, please. It's not like that. It's not like that. And then Ryle's like, bitch, get off me, whatever. He didn't hit her this time, you know, but he ends up walking outside, you know, to go down the stairs to leave. Excuse me. So he ends up trying to like go to leave, you know, and leave through the stairs. And Lily's chasing after him, you know? And she's like, I guess she like leaned in or something to try and grab him and hold him and stop him from leaving. And he did one of these. Woo! He did like shit like bitch. You thought like damn. And I'm just looking like, this bitch is clumsy. She tripped. Like she tripped. You know, I'm literally sitting there. I'm like, like accident to me. I'm sorry, it's not funny. But I genuinely thought the bitch just tripped and she was clumsy. I'm sorry. Does that sound naive? I don't know. I was a little bit like, okay, like, dude, this is the second time. Like, come on now, this don't look good. But from the way the director made it look, and like he like did like a little turn and she just leaned the wrong way and she fell herself, you know? It wasn't until later we saw what really happened, you know? And so I'm just like, bitch, you clumsy as hell. Like, anyway, so she falls down the stairs, right? It's not funny. Lord help me. It's not funny. So Lily ends up, you know, waking up. She's being nursed back by Ryle. He has the ice pack and stuff rubbing on her forehead and making sure that she's good. She's like trying to remember what's going on, where she's at, yada, yada, yada. somewhere in between somewhere between action 1, 2, and 3 of the beatings, you know, I think between 1 and 2 or whatever, Ryle ends up proposing to Lily. Now, this was a little bit weird, okay? I wasn't really feeling this because he proposed to her in the hospital right after his sister just got done giving birth. And I don't know if he was feeling like, you know, I can imagine how, you know, the baby just born, everybody's happy, everybody's all lovey-dovey, like, oh, like kind of like a wedding, you know? Like everyone, you just getting that spirit or whatever, so I guess. But to me, I was just like, now's not the moment or the time, dude. Like, get your ass up. What the fuck? He proposes to Lily. Lily ends up saying yes. And I'm just like, girl, like, okay. I already knew it was something. I knew it wasn't going to work out between them two, but I didn't know what was going to be the cause of them not working out. Because again, I thought it was an accident both times. I'm thinking that it's an accident all along. I'm knowing that, you know, her and Atlas are gearing up to be the ones that are like together at the end of the story. Like, I'm not dumb. I'm not a dummy. I can see that's what the author or the director is setting up. But I just didn't know what Ryle did or was going to do to where him and Lily didn't end up working out. You know what I mean? The third time. Okay? The third time. So pretty much, Atlas, he's in the newspaper for his restaurant and he's being interviewed and he's talking about, I think he's asked like, oh, like what inspired you for the logo of your restaurant? His logo is a heart and I think it's like in the shape of like a tree or something like that. And then he's talking about Lily and how Lily, like, did he give her a name? I don't think he ever gave her, no, he didn't give her a name. But like the way he's describing her, you know, it's obvious that he's talking about Lily to the people that know, you know, which is Ryle, Atlas, and Lily. Okay, so he's talking about, oh yeah, the girl that got away, I recently found her or whatever. We planted this oak tree or whatever as kids, you know, and she gave me hope. I love her, blah, blah, blah. And it really was sweet. It was a sweet ass thing. I'm not gonna lie. It was sweet. So Lily gets home or whatever, and she ends up seeing Ryle, and Ryle's like, read this. And she's like, no, I'm not really in the mood right now. And then he's like, no, read this. She's like, do we have to? Like, I really don't want. He's like, read this. And I'm just like, damn. And that's where I knew. I was like, it was no accident, girl. No, I wish I saw it. I could tell what was happening right then and there, though, you know? So I was like, damn, this motherfucker. So she read the goddamn paper, child. She read the paper. She reading everything, and oh yeah, and then she has a tattoo. I think it was like right here, somewhere on her collarbone of the symbol of the logo that Alex's restaurant represents, and it's like a thing. And in the beginning of the movie, when Ryle and Lily first met, Ryle is like, oh, what's this tattoo mean? And I think she shrugged it off as like, oh, it's just a silly little thing that kids do or something like that, you know? And I knew right when she said that, I'm like, girl, tell him the truth. Tell him the truth. Because I knew that was going to end up coming up later in the story. I knew it. And sure enough, it fucking did. Like, see, if you start with lies, you just gonna end up in a fucking messy ass situation. So she should have told the truth right away. Like, what do y'all think? Do you think like she didn't need to tell him the truth about the tattoo? I feel like she should have. If it didn't mean anything, she would have told him the truth, right? That's generally what I think. And so now he knows the truth. He knows the significance behind the tattoo, you know? And she, like, it's out there. It's out there. And so he's pissed off. He like grabs her, throws her down onto like a couch or a bed or something. And he's like, you know, taking advantage of her pretty much. And he ends up like biting on her. I guess he was trying to bite the tattoo off because he was so goddamn upset and mad or whatever. And it's not stated whether, you know, like, it's not stated whether Ryle, like, you know, Lily or not. It's not. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, okay? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I can't say that on YouTube, but I don't know if that actually ended up happening or not because it wasn't really like clearly stated again. But I'm assuming she wasn't, but I don't know for sure. So she runs out, she gets away somehow. Lily's in like a car and she starts crying or whatever. It's raining down. The scene is like really heavy. It's really fucking sad. And then we have this moment of Lily like remembering all the times, the 3 times that Ryle like put put his hands on her. And so we're seeing all the incidents, like with the oven dish when he first backhanded her, like that wasn't an accident at all. We saw when she fell down the stairs, that was really him pushing her. And then this most recent incident, you know, it's just like, damn, like, I was shocked. I was shocked. I'm not gonna hold you, because again, the first 2 times, genuinely, I thought it was a fucking accident. And now I'm just like, this motherfucker, this whole time, she was just trying to like cover it up to be with this dude. She was like tricking her brain into remembering something that didn't happen, or I guess into not believing something. That's so sad. And then, you know, we have the whole sad moment where Lily goes, she's talking to her mom or whatever. She's asking her mom why she stayed with her abusive husband, Lily's dad, and whatnot. And Lily's mom has a really honest moment, a really sad but honest moment. And she's like, it just would have been harder to leave. It would have been harder to leave, is what she says. I kind of felt that. Like I don't feel that as in like I can fully understand, like, you know, like empathize with that. I haven't been through that situation, but I can kind of understand how, like, being like, you know, in my own fair share of kind of like toxic relationships, when I should have left, I ended up staying because, again, it would have been harder to leave than to stay. It's sad, but it doesn't make sense. But that's just, I don't know what we end up doing, I guess, as people. Between all this, we end up finding out that Lily's fucking pregnant. Lily's pregnant. And I'm just like, fuck, yo. Like, what she, off tops, I already knew she was having a girl. It was pretty obvious. It wouldn't make sense for having to have a boy, right? So I knew Lily was having a girl. I just was like, damn, you having a baby girl to this dude? Like, And then we get a moment with Alyssa, who again is Ryle's sister, Lily's friend. And I'm just like, damn, that's gotta be awkward for Alyssa. Like, imagine being in a situation torn between like your best friend and your brother. Like, that's hard. But Alyssa, like, she had a real ass motherfucking moment, and that's why I respect her as a character, as a friend, as a person, because she was fucking real. She said, listen here, Lily, what my brother did is so wrong. Like, as his sister, I really hope that you can find some way to forgive him, and I want you guys to work it out. But as your best friend, if you don't leave him, I will never talk to you again. That was the realest shit. That was the realest shit that she could have said right then and there. I love that fucking moment. It was so deep, yo. Like, yo, what the fuck, who am I? Anyway, it was so fucking deep. Like, it was just beautiful. It was fucking beautiful. I need to watch this movie again, just thinking about it. It was so good. So yeah, we had that between them, and then we get to, one other thing is Lily asks Alyssa about Emerson, who is Alyssa and Ryle's brother, who we never knew anything about. We knew there was a brother, but Ryle never wanted to talk about it. It was like kind of like taboo, hush hush. So come to find out, when they all were kids or whatnot, I guess Ryle and Emerson were playing, and Ryle ends up finding a gun and thinking that it's fake, and you can assume, you can guess what happened there, or if you saw the movie, then you know. Like, you know, and then Emerson ends up, you know, no longer being in the picture. And that just goes back to, like I said, the foreshadowing earlier when we first met Ryle, how he was upset or whatever. And, I didn't even mention, like, because Ryle was talking about, you know, the boy that had passed away because his brother, like, you know, shot him and whatnot. And I think Lily had asked him, like, in that moment, she was like, so I feel so sorry for the boy lost his life, but I also feel sorry. I can't imagine, like, what happens to the boy that lived on. And then Ryle's like, he's dead every day of his life. Like, literally dead inside every day of his fucking life. I don't know if that was the exact verbiage, but it was something to that extent. And I was just like, damn, that... So I'm putting all this together, right? I'm gonna think like, damn, like this. So the whole time, like, he was talking about himself. So now I'm like, fuck, I'm over here supposed to be hating Ryle, but now I feel sorry for him because of this, but I still hate him. And so now I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I'm supposed to hate him or love him, you know? Whatever. And then another sweet moment that we get with Alyssa in this conversation between her and Lily is in the beginning when Alyssa first showed up to the flower shop. She was saying how she used to really love flowers, but she actually hates flowers. And I was just like, that's weird. Like, why do you hate flowers, but you want to work at a flower shop? And I think Lily actually agreed too. Lily actually said the same thing. Like, I don't like flowers either, you know? I can't remember why they end up having a flower shop. Anywho, they both hate flowers, and come to find out, the reason why Alyssa hates flowers is because when their brother Emerson had passed away, you know, at a funeral, there's a bunch of flowers. You see all these different kinds of flowers or whatever, you know. It's just typically how funerals go. And so that's what ended up making her hate flowers, because it reminded her of death. It reminded her of the death of her brother. That was heavy. That was so fucking heavy. Like, yo, the writing in this was phenomenal. And you just don't expect to get that. Like, I mean, I love romance in drama movies, you know, but they can be corny. You usually don't get like a really good plot, dialogue like this, but this was something else. And again, it's probably because it's based off a book, you know, but it was so fucking good. When I'm telling you, every little line, every little scene, everything in this movie was specifically put in there for a reason. It all connected. Nothing was misplaced, you know. It was so fucking good, you guys. If you haven't seen it, please go see the movie. And then now we get to the last scene. We get to the last scene, one of the last scenes. So Lily is giving birth to her baby girl, you know, and Ryle ends up showing up to the hospital, and we have this awkward moment between those two. Like, I'm not knowing how she's gonna, you know, like, talk to her. I don't know if she's gonna be like, oh, you can't ever see the baby. I don't know if it's gonna be a fight, or she's gonna pretend it's all good. I don't know, but it seemed to be all right. It was cool, whatever, you know. Ryle sees the baby, he starts lighting up or whatever. He's talking to her. Lily has this awesome moment where she ends up like, I think I'm naming the baby Emmy or Emery or something like that, which is after Ryle and Alyssa's baby brother that passed away. Which I think that was just so wholesome. She's a fucking rock star for that. Like, she's fucking awesome for that. Even though, you know, she was going through what she was going through with Ryle, she still decided to like do him that one solid. So she's just the bigger person, such an awesome character moment for her with that right there. So I think that was great. Another great moment we have right there in the hospital is, you know, Lily's sitting there, she's looking at Ryle hold the baby, and she says to him, she's like, hey, I need you to sign these divorce papers. I'm through. And then he's like, please, can we please like work on it? Can we just be a family? And then she's like, look at that baby girl. If a guy or some boy comes along and put his hands on her, I think she went to specifics. She's literally like, if some guy like backhanded her, pushed her down the stairs, pinned her down, what would you tell her? Like, what would you tell your daughter? And he's literally like, you can see that he doesn't want to say it, but like, he has to, like what the fuck, you know? And you can see that, like, it's like breaking him inside. It really is. He's like, I would tell her to leave and never turn back. Like, that's some real shit. Like, he says, I would tell her to leave and never turn back. And he knows that that's what he basically has to do that with Lily, even though he doesn't want to. He knows that he has to, like, because it just too much has been done. Too much has been done. You guys can't, and you don't want to have that example set for your baby girl. And then we get to, you know, so I love that moment. Then we get to Lily. She's talking to baby Emery, whatever her name is. And, you know, she's looking at her and she's like, it ends with us. And like, that was so fucking deep. Like, because I didn't know why the book or the movie was called that. But now I know why. It ends with us, right? Because Lily's mom was a victim of DV. And now Lily was a victim of DV. And she's saying, like, it ends with us. I'm going to make sure you don't have to go through this. Like, I'm stopping it here. And so just, it was so good. It was so fucking good, you guys. It was so good. So, I don't know. I love that movie. 10 out of 10, you guys. 10 out of fucking 10. Oh, sorry. She does get her happy ending, you know? So, Lily ends up living, or being with her baby girl. Ryle's out of the picture. It's not explained if they're still co-parenting or Ryle just is a deadbeat. I have no idea. I don't know. Anywho, so, and then Lily ends up running into Alex again, and, you know, they reunite and they rekindle things and they're all good. And so, it's just beautiful. A really beautiful fucking movie. I don't know. I do plan on going to read the book because usually you get more details and more stuff fleshed out into the book. And so it'll be interesting to go from watching the movie to reading the book now, because usually it's the other way around. So I don't know. We'll see how I drive with it. But yeah, it was really good, and I feel dang, it's crazy that some people didn't like it. I'm not taking away from anybody that didn't like it, because again, they probably did read the book or they had their reasons. But for me, you guys, 10 out of 10. I probably will go see the movie in theaters again, like sometime this week. It was just that fucking good. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. If you guys like this video, please, please, please like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, viewers, 0 subscribers. 0. If you want to be the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, come join the game. It costs nothing. Nothing at all. You know, I'm going to be putting out more content. It's either going to be a Harry Potter review or I got to make a review for A Court of Mist and Fury. So it's one of those, you know. So stay tuned. More content is coming. Hope you guys like the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.